Oakley dokley, we're back. And again, thank you guys as always for watching the commercials. They are the lifeblood of mine and Zombie Grub's food bills. I guess commercials in a weird way are kind of like food stamps if you think about it.
I don't.
I know, you're rich. You don't know what food stamps are. Let me explain it. So some people can't afford to buy food with real money because they don't have it. So the government gives them these little stamps that are kind of, in a way, money, but not really, and it's only for food.
It's funny. I worked at a grocery store. I deal with it all the time.
Jokes. He's got jokes, kids.
Actually, I've been looking into health insurance as I'm turning ye old 26.
Oh, the big 26, that milestone everybody knows about.
In America, everyone knows about it because that's when you lose your parents' health insurance.
Oh, I think I lost my parents' health insurance when I turned like 19 or something over here.
Yeah, well, we didn't actually have any other options for health insurance.
I still don't have my care card, so technically I don't have any health insurance right now.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it's not gonna be cool, man. It's not gonna be great. It's not cool.
Expenses are so fun, especially when they're not expected. What do you have to pay a month over there for an average, I guess, health care thing?
I did limited amounts of research, but like something like $400 a month for like a decent plan.
That's not bad. I think like the super cheap one here is like 90 to 100, something like that for the most basic one. Yeah,
there are like super cheap ones, I guess, that are like short term or something like that. But you can get super cheap ones. And then you get tax credit at the end of the year. So
so it's weird because like, you know, there's universal health care, so it's not such a big deal, but when I hear about the American politics version of this, and I'm not trying to get political, guys, this is just like outsider perspective coming in here. It's so confusing to try and follow what's going on because it sounds like it feels like 1 week I'll hear, okay, America's basically got their shit together. Then the next week it's about like, okay, people can't afford anything. And then the next week it's someone making fun of people for not being able to afford. Like, it's all over the place as an outsider looking in. So I never really know what the state of, I guess, the American healthcare system is. And that's what makes me so scared. Like, when we go, I always fucking buy travel insurance. There's like 0 chance I'm getting caught in America breaking my leg and going like, I don't know what's going on. Do I go to a hospital or not? Like, no, F that.
Whatever you do, don't get an ambulance.
Yeah, that was another thing that was weird.
Because
I guess, like, you know, you hear about TV and like through internet. When I went to the ambulance and I got, when my arms were broken, I was expecting to pay like an arm and a leg. It was like $60 for the ambulance ride.
Are you expecting to pay 2 arms?
Shut the fuck up. I paid 2 arms for that ambulance ride. Okay, that was well played. I gotta give you that one. But yeah, it was only like $60 or something, and I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
I will say though, I never want to go on nitrous oxide again. Like, I know some people, they like drugs, they like getting high, and that's whatever for you. That was the weirdest. It was an interesting experience, and I'm glad, like, I guess I got to try it, but I was like so freaked out from not being, I guess, normally in control of like my brain. It was a weird experience. But tell you what, it took away the pain, and that's what mattered, I guess.
Yeah.
I cannot begin to tell you guys.
Matters.
So standard thing, just we're waiting for the lobby to get going. We're waiting on whatever for the players. But when you break an arm or a collarbone, procedure is you get put in a sling, and it gets put in the weight on your shoulder to take the burden off your arm. But when you break your collarbone and your elbow, and you can't both, you can't actually do that. So what they do is they make you try and hold your arms up like a mummy. And you don't get a sling, and it's like, okay, you know what? You do this for like a minute, it's not a problem. Do this for 5 minutes becomes a little bit annoying. Have to do this all day. It's like a death sentence. I hated it. So, in the ambulance ride, they didn't. Oh, first off, if you guys remember my telling you of this story when it happened, they didn't give me enough pain meds, which really sucked. So, the first week or so, it wasn't really an issue. It was like the month following that was like, ugh, kill me. This is not worth. I don't want to recover from this.
Oh, sounds like a terrible experience.
I will say though, I thought that there's never gonna be a moment, I think, where we stream like we could have a day. Someone could walk in here, some rich oil baron, slam down 10 G's and be like, "Thanks, BaseTradeTV for casting." Right? I'm never gonna feel as emotional though as like you guys helping me raise money for the nurse and stuff. I didn't think I would need the nurse as badly as I did, but I really, really did. So getting the nurse for the extra week or whatever from all the stuff that was raised, like, I will never forget that. Thank you, by the way, especially.
Yeah, well, I really didn't do anything. I just did put the stream up.
Well, you
We're very,
did silly dances
very willing.
and singing.
Yeah, and I gave away almost every single like giveaway I have, but I'm restocking. I had
Yeah,
a great
I was
idea.
thinking. I felt bad. I should have taken advantage of the Blizzard sale they had, the spring clearance sale. That would
Yeah.
have been good for just stocking
I had
up
a
on
bright
stuff.
idea, Riskin. I bought stuff for the Blizzard sale.
You
Just
smart
fine.
cookie.
Thank you. I try.
All right, folks, we're getting into game number 1. This is the semifinals of the Olimoleague. Spawning here on the top right side, we got the red Protoss player, Hurricane. Seen this guy pop up everywhere lately.
Bottom right, as the blue Protoss. He has patience. I was gonna try to make a pun off of Hurricane, but I was like, they don't pop up everywhere. That's not how they work.
It's Hurricane, not Hurricane.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hurricane played, of course, in the Dog Wars yesterday. A little bit of a not so great performance. We also saw him in the GSL series against Major through Jake's live stream, which was actually a great performance. But I don't know, like I like Patience a lot right now. I think just generally speaking, we all know he's a good player. I think he's just been playing really exceptionally well lately. So I guess we'll get to see whether his PvP is keeping up with the other matchups.
PvP's actually been quite fun. I mean, I think it's always been fun in Legacy of the Void, I guess, to be more specific. Well, except for that time it was Adept versus Adept. That was not fun. But once that was fixed, I actually found it a very entertaining matchup.
Yeah, Adept versus Adept was an interesting phase.
It was stupid. It wasn't the Adept versus Adept necessarily. It was that it was just like who runs in faster or who can manage to get away with a one-base Stargate better. Like it was all one base, all aggression. It was like there was no reason. Like there, and it was really rare because people were not willing to play Protoss. It was so different in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, and I agree with that point, but I need to bring this to the chat. You just wrote, America fines you for not having health insurance. Isn't that kind of what health insurance is in the first place, though? I feel like insurance in general is like, basically any monthly thing that you wish you didn't have to pay into is kind of already a fine in a way.
Well, yeah,
Rent is a fine for living in this space each month.
But it's so, I mean, because like, okay, you know, I'm like trying to really research this, right, so I can get the best that I possibly can. But like, you know, if I live out of country for a while, why would I want to pay health insurance? But I literally have to, or they'll be like, pay up, sucker.
I always read those stories too, where people like, they can afford a trip to fly all the way to like somewhere in Europe or Mexico even, get the procedure done, stay in a 5-star resort where they recover, and then come home, and it's still cheaper than like getting the procedure done in America.
What is it called, like health tourism or something like that? Like,
is there a phrase for that? I didn't actually know.
Yeah, I know there's definitely dental tourism. I was like, maybe I should do that. But yeah, I think it's just in general like health tourism or something like that. It's insane, and it's super weird, but whatever. So yeah, back to the Protoss versus Protoss. It's a fun matchup. I like it, and it does usually go to 2 bases at this point in time. In fact, often 3. But what's really weird, what's really interesting, is that it's really changed away. It's had so many phases, 1 base adepts aside, and what it's come down to now is what it seems to be generally, especially in the Korean scene, hold off on disruptors for almost as long as possible because they're too aggressive to try and get to disruptors. They'll die before they can get to a good disruptor count.
And I'm not really too keen on that, funny enough. Like, and I'm no PvP expert, guys. I'm not going to claim to play this at like a GM level or anything like that. But from what we've seen, like, I think what we had the PvP only tournament through various PvPs since then. It still feels to me like disruptors are the trump card, but it's like dangerous trying to get the trump card out, I guess, is what the way Koreans see it. So I think things like Charge Loud Archon was cool to see for a while. We've even seen some people try and mix Colossus back in, which I just don't think are ever going to really come back to the matchup. But ultimately, it's been more, I think, inclined even to go to air rather than disruptors, more casting Korea stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Voidera games that lead to mass air. That's certainly another interesting way to play. But right, the disruptors are just too dangerous. Even, I mean, there's been games where I've seen players get to 4 disruptors, which generally would like take care of even a 20, 30, maybe even 40 armor supply disadvantage if you get really lucky shots, and all 4 get sniped. And you're just like, well, oh, that happened. So it's a super dangerous way to play. You got to be playing into the blink game, aggressive game first, at least. And that's what both of them are doing, actually. Very similar builds here. Hurricane goes for a bit different with the Forge timing. And a Warp Prism, of course.
Yeah, Overcharge can push that back pretty quick. 6 range pickup is hype. I guess a bit of scouting revealed through that too, but ultimately not much. I like the idea though. It's just the unfortunate thing is Warp Prism could be so easily caught by Blink Stalkers. So while Blink's not done yet, once it is, that Warp Prism becomes kind of dangerous to use as a harass mechanism. It's great for the front lines, you know, you keep that safe in the back and warp in directly. But Phoenix gonna come in and scout whatever was missed in the base.
Yeah, he certainly has enough sentries to do this. So it's gonna scout that the builds are really similar, basically. I mean, even down to the sentry number, right? So Patience is gonna do the exact same thing. Killing the sentries is a very good use of a Warp Prism with 2 Adepts. Those things go down pretty quickly. Doesn't quite get it though.
Back at home, Hurricane's not really doing anything too crazy. He does start up his Robo finally, but a lot of this was for both of them trying to get their economy going so they could get their production going. I mean, nobody wants to be the one to slap down 7 gates first.
Well, the Hurricane wants to throw down that Robotics Bay first. This is kind of like the thing we're talking about.
Oh, rest in peace, Maynard.
Bye, Maynard.
I wish I knew like an Irish song I could sing, send him out. I feel like he'd pour him out a drink and chant.
Oh well. So Patience, he did send Lucy and Phoenix forward. I don't know at what time though. Did it see the Robotics Bay? It did. This could prompt him to attack, realizing that they're going to be trying to get some very expensive units, very slow building units too. Obviously out of that Robo, not gateways. Or, yeah, I was gonna say, it could just prompt him to go for Robotics Bay as well. Because while it doesn't happen that often, Disruptor Blinked versus Disruptor Blink can still be the way that it goes.
Yeah, and just noting, because someone's going to come out, yeah, we missed Warp Prism dying just now. Apologies for that. I was actually responding to the fan guys who, I guess, were concerned they didn't get their prize money from yesterday's event. I was just saying, oh, you can log in a match Reno and withdraw it at any time. So hopefully that's just going to be not a problem. I actually really enjoyed working with them, so I didn't want to make them feel left out. But Monty-oon, hot diggity damn, 1,000 bits.
Thank you.
That is worth waking up at 4 a.m. for, I'll tell you what. Thank you very much, man. We are testing out progressive mode today, so I guess I'll explain this because Monty's one of the guys who likes to do bits a lot. Overkill mode was causing it to reset every time we swap scenes back to 100 health. It does seem like progressive mode is not doing that though. So it's every time you kill the bit boss, the next person's gonna have 100 more health, regardless of how many bits they actually put towards it. I know maybe it's not the ideal thing of what people want to see, but it's the only one that's working and not breaking every time we swap scenes right now. So either way, Monty, very generous. Thank you so much, man. Or Monty-oon.
So a little bit of harassment here and there, poking and prodding with the Blink Stalkers, but pretty identical game otherwise. I just looked at Twitter, and first of all, Kenzie responding to your beautiful GIF.
Oh,
amazing.
Excellent.
Just dots. Just sums up a lot of people's response. But then also,
it's a great GIF, man. I worked hard on that.
It is. ESL is appearing in Africa. That's kind of cool. ESL Africa, ESL Quize.
Wait, Africa or Africa?
Africa. Like there is an event in Africa.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Well,
Just,
DT's got shut down pretty quick, or DT rather. I was gonna note too while we were talking before, like there was a small upgrade lead in terms of difference. That +2 not gonna be done just yet, so they are on even footing. But once that +2 does finish, that's gonna give Hurricane a lot of power with these stalkers. But more importantly, oh, Mortals! But cool. Guacamole, that could have been so much worse.
Yeah. Got a sentry, and obviously took a lot of those immortals, but those disruptors are really close to dying too, and that would have been worse. Right, the upgrade lead, it can definitely be instrumental if they both basically negate each other's disruptors. That could be the big difference maker. But it's going to be more about the disruptors and trying to find people out of position. Hurricane has a lot of presence over the map, like a lot of pylons, I suppose. He's getting ready for a 4th base. His army's off to the left and the right. I guess Patience has a Warp Prism going into that 4th, coincidentally. It could stop off, and I don't think it could cancel it. Like, it just makes his builds too fast, but maybe. Oh, yeah, he can. Yeah, okay. I thought he was going to be like 4 Warpings, not 8. Oh, that's going to be a cancel.
Ah, Mr. Sock Monster. I actually do know that one. Alright, the disruptor shots are going to be very, very precise here. Like, this is... I actually don't know that there's anything else in the game that comes down to such, like, a millisecond difference in who shot first. Like, there's a lot of instances where as units fire at each other, like, whoever got the first shot with the Reaper, or Immortals have no projectiles, like, who shot first wins. But who shot first determines whether the other guy even gets to play when it comes to disruptor fights.
Yeah, but it's probably the one with the most stakes on it. Reaper fights don't usually end the game.
No. What is kind of cool, though, we have been seeing people deal with disruptors in very different ways. Some choose to go for units that can take the hit, like Immortals and Archons. And some choose to go air and use Phoenix to pick up the disruptors and cancel the shots that way. Patience does have a starport. Right now it's only making an Oracle, but I would love to see some Phoenix come out of that.
He's gonna make Banshees.
Stargate. Thank you, Zombie Girl.
You're welcome. Yeah, I like the Oracle. I mean, if it's just for the Oracle, that might seem unnecessary, but I would say it's actually very, very helpful when it comes to playing Sock Disruptor.
Yeah, even if he doesn't go Phoenix for this, I think Revelation is already very, very valuable.
Is that the best UC Disruptors?
I guess if
like
you...
7.
Oh,
no,
oh man! If he does this right, he could time out shots to detonate. Does those? Oh, come on, patience, buddy. I need a new clip for Reddit. Let's do this. Time that out perfectly, buddy. New stasis trap coming. There's no way he doesn't get this shot off,
well,
right?
He's
like
gonna kill all of them, even if he doesn't get the shot off, I guess.
Come on. Oh.
Although I think he's playing with fire through the shot.
No, the hit's good. That disruptor shot was so sick. On top of the disruptor, of course, couldn't move. He trapped some of the stalkers that tried to come in on the side. Hurricane's count is kind of shut down. But it is worth noting that this isn't game over, despite how bad the fight goes here for Hurricane, and he's going to lose more. Like, the Stalkers are going to be devastating to lose, too. But the thing is, like, behind this, he's making his own Stargate. And while the Disruptor count may have been reset, as I mentioned, there's ways to fight against a Disruptor disadvantage. Stargate's one of those ways.
Yeah. That fourth base was denied by Hurricane. Or for Hurricane, I suppose. Still not down. That is a little worrying. Patience maybe getting a little bit too bold here. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, he tries to split.
He kind of messed up the shots, too, and he's got him on top of his own disruptors for a second. Oh, my God. Hurricane might not even need the Stargates, man. He's just busting through with brute force.
Yeah, he is. He might even have fourth base. I mean, well,
oh my
part
God.
of this is because Patience
the
has
Immortals.
such a large army to the north that's not even moving right now.
Okay, there's that, but he also just can't deal with the Immortals. Even if the Stalkers were at home, these are 6 Immortals. They're going to rip through with +3 weapon upgrades. Nothing survives these shots. So he's going to try and, I guess, base trade a little bit. Okay, this is so weird. Like I said, though, guys, like, one of the things you do is you get units that can take hits from Disruptors and Immortals that can take 2 hits.
Oh.
But this...
There goes it.
Oh!
There.
Stop.
That third base dies, and the fourth base is finished and it has even a couple probes on it. I mean, even without it, I think Hurricane's got this. The army is so impressive.
Yeah, coming down to a base trade, there's just not enough to base trade with. And kudos to Hurricane. I feel like Patience won the game as far as my heart goes. There's no doubt about it. But Hurricane's going to win the actual game, and that's, I think, going to matter a little bit more. There's just no way he can take a fight. There's just, even if a Disruptor does get a hit off, there's too much in the army that can dodge it. There's too much that can soak the hit in the first place. I mean, Patience is down in upgrades too, right? So even if it's just like straight up stock over stock, or we remove Immortals and remove Disruptors from the equation, like, you just can't fight. All the probes are dead. It's like a cannon at home to defend. Rest in peace, little buddy.
You should just cast this game.
Oh, is the sound being cool? I'm gonna guess it is because she couldn't respond to that. GG! So should I call you? Is that gonna be the plan?
I suppose, yes.
Alright guys, I didn't want to do a break here, but we'll do a break here. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Audio problems. Alright folks, sorry about that. We're a little bit late back to the party, but we, I believe, have fixed the audio issues. Zombie Girl, hello?
I mean, for now.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll just restart it again if that's going to be the case. But anyways, game number 2 here in the semifinals. He is currently down 1 game. In the top left, we've got the Red Protoss, Patience.
The bottom right is the blue Protoss. He is Hurricane.
Of course, let's assume for a moment he does defeat Patience here and goes on to the finals. That would certainly be noteworthy for Hurricane, as it's been a while since we've seen him get any sort of good result. The problem is he still lays in this problem where he's fighting against either Zerg or Terran. Like, maybe his PvP is great, but we still don't know whether it's going to be Ryong, Impact, or Penguin. In fact, Impact and Penguin are apparently still playing. Ryong does not have an opponent still.
Must be a decent ZVZ then.
I'll say it's like one of those games that goes to Ultra versus Ultra or something.
Maybe. So I guess you lost my webcam during all this.
Oh, no Apollo cam. I was gonna mention though, that disruptor hit that last game really tickled my fancy. A little bit of luck, a little bit of just like perfect situation stuff, but either way, I liked seeing Patience capitalize on that, like not wasting the opportunity. I feel like we've actually seen quite a few good stasis traps get wasted in several games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they present the opportunity to kill 6 disruptors, you know, but sometimes it's just like even a couple of free units just walk away and you're like, oh, this probably should have died.
I didn't even see that stasis trap, and it's not something you think of when I see that Oracle pop out first, because Revelation on the Army is what I think of first. So it ended up being pretty cool, very, very worth. A Patience scouting for, I believe, Stargate's not planning on putting on his own, but okay, maybe not. He does actually move to the left. Could very well be putting down a proxy pylon either for warp-ins or, hell man, even like a robo or something, right? But Adept's going to get into that main base, and if he does proxy something, it should be noticeable by the Adepts in the main. Something would be missing. Pylon, gateway, robo, whatever. Nexus, even.
Yeah, actually, with the 3 pylon setup, it's kind of hard to actually justify doing something like that. The fact that the Nexus isn't down, though, okay, he'll see it. It's a shame he didn't get here like a couple seconds earlier. He really could have shut that down.
This could have been just a scout. It is just a scout. Patient's going to put the probe in now.
Alright, we want the Adepts cancel the transfer through, realizing there's too much. He just falls back. Megadog doing 100 damage to Monteune. Says, what do y'all think of the USA PC gaming scene? I think we so big into console because console's easier to play as kids. I don't really agree with that. I think console's really hyped, which is good. It's not like people who play console never play PC. And vice versa.
Yeah. I don't like really know enough, but I feel like PC's taken over.
I think PC...
I'm actually thinking about this. You go first.
Well, I was just going to mention, like, there's a lot of hype around Smash and these fighting game events, but that's just because the community is phenomenal. It's not because, like, consoles are superior, in my opinion.
Well, it's also that, like, it's like Super Smash Bros. Also happens to go a lot of nostalgia, I think. Like, I don't think I would watch it if I didn't play it when I was younger. I mean, it's a good esport, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not, but I also think that a lot of people are hooked into it initially, or casually because they played it earlier. But anyways, I was thinking about this not in terms of USA, because I've not really thought about USA. I don't really, I guess, care enough, but I was thinking about, like, Korea has, like, no interest whatsoever in any of these, like, fighting games. Oh, yeah, and I was like, you know, because of PC bongs, they might have never bothered with a console age.
Yeah, that's actually something, that'd be a really interesting cultural thing to look into. I think, though, I don't know. I think this is great in general, that games, regardless, though, console, PC, like, whichever one's dominating, the fact is they're all becoming a little more mainstream each day. And that's all I really care about.
I have no idea. I guess I can only tell you when either, like, my you know, brothers have kids or when I have kids. Like, is there still that hype? Like, that kid, like, got the N64? Like, I remember being so hyped when I got the new console, but I think of PS4s now, and it's so expensive and seems so just not
I remember
family-oriented. Okay, not us.
I was just gonna mention, I kind of remember saving up like 7 Christmases worth of like money from family stuff and like birthday money so I could afford like the Xbox. Not the Xbox One, but like the first Xbox, right? And I was so hyped about this. This thing was like crazy to me because I had a hand-me-down Dreamcast prior to that. And I've never ever felt hyped about consoles since then. Like, there's the N64 was my very first big console outside, like, you know, the Nintendo Entertainment System. Like, I never had a Super Nintendo. I played Sega Genesis at like friend's house, right? But like never really had anything big. So I had a Dreamcast, I had N64 into Dreamcast into Xbox, and then after I never really got into console stuff. I did borrow a friend's PlayStation specifically to play Kingdom Hearts because I loved the series and the concept of it so much, but I never played anything else. And I've never been on the console hype train other than that.
There's also, I think for me, it was also like if our parents bought us a console, it was like the shared Christmas gift for all 3 kids because I have 2 brothers, you know? And I just, when I got older, I felt very guilty about asking for a console because, you know, my brother was out living somewhere else. The brother, you know, was doing whatever else. And it was just, it would have been only for me, really. So, and I just, I guess I got older. Got more into PCs. Got more into StarCraft. That's the real culprit here.
Brood War.
Yeah. No, I played that on 64, bro.
Oh my god, I kind of forgot. It's one of those things I know, but I don't want to know that existed.
Can't wait
for
till
console.
that's remastered.
Using like the yellow C buttons to like, oh god, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Pylon overcharge should be enough to keep this at bay. There's a lot of energy on that mothership core, so there's no chance Hurricane breaks in here very easily. Patience does sneak off to the side though, and I guess kind of hopes that Hurricane would stay here and go for a soft contained of sorts. But he's not going to be presented with the option for freebie kills that I think he wants to get here. I mean, if these stalkers, it is going to be blink, so he's got mobility, he's got maneuverability, he can disengage if he needs to, but I don't think he's going to be able to walk into that probe line and do what he wants to do.
Yeah, maybe he could have gotten one of these sentries. Well, maybe he still will. Yeah, there you go. Get 2 of them. Oh my god.
Nice, and he actually keeps the stalkers alive too. That was some good precision attacking.
Yeah. Oh, that observer's gonna be dead. Bye-bye. Patience does take a 3rd, and a Warp Prism is getting into his natural. Hurricane could do some damage.
Yeah, both players going for Robos too while this goes on, so we know the direction this game will head. An interesting question out of Bronze Saint in chat saying, well, why do people go to PC Bong? PCs are pretty affordable, right? So this is an interesting thing for me too, because I remember spending $1,000 or whatever on my very first PC.
History lesson.
And my friends would all do this too. And we had these good computers, but they would all insist on going to like the cyber cafe together, the LAN centers and stuff. And I'd be like, you're paying like $3 an hour when you have computers that can do this at home. And to be honest, like a big part of it was just them getting to hang out in person doing the same stuff they would do at home. So I think there is like, this goes back to the fighting game thing. Like there's a lot to be said about the power of community, the power of friends getting together or whatever.
Well, there's a couple of different things actually. Legitimately, history lesson time, I suppose. Which is that PCs were not very cheap back in the day. So while they are now, the PC bong culture has been ingrained from an earlier time where like your parents weren't going to buy you a PC. It took up too much space. It took too much money. And why don't you just go down like, you know, five minutes away? Because it's also a really condensed city, right? That there's plenty of PC bongs you can go to. So it was a lot cheaper of an option, and you could play with your friends. So yeah, why would you ever give that up now? Because even if people do have personal computers in Korea now, they're smaller, they're cheaper, they're, you know, widely considered to be a necessity in everyone's home. PC bongs just like more fun. Plus you get like food there and shit.
Yeah. Rice bowls and such. Always nice.
Ramen bowls. Sure.
I guess in Korea, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zadap's gonna get some freebies. This is nice. Cannon's gonna keep him from staying around for too long, but even just denying the mining here is kind of nice. We see like 1,000 minerals drop off there for Hurricane. That being said, Patience has got quite the force amassed up. A lot of stalkers. A lot of stalkers. Got a couple of disruptors in this army too. Not to be completely left out of the blue, though Hurricane has his own. I think the problem still comes down to, again, who fires first and is the control on the shot good enough to get the hits that you want them to get. I mean, we all know how devastating this mini nuke a disruptor fires out is, but aiming it, timing on it can be so difficult.
Speaking of.
Yeah, who shot first? A real big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure Patience can ever push in here, because of course, even if he blinks in, there's going to be potent overcharges and immortals. But it is getting dangerously close. You know, the other shots are all gone here. Force field's also, I guess, a possibility, sure. Potent overcharge is taking out really quickly.
He did just burn about half of his blinks. I think Hurricane may have missed out on the opportunity to try and get another shot off, but Patience using his shots not to kill, but mostly to zone. He still grabs one of the disruptors, loses one of his own, though. This is still really tough for Hurricane to hold on to.
Oh, the blink forward. Very dangerous thing to do. Again, those immortals are still alive, but one of them gets force-footed out. The other one goes down pretty quickly along with the disruptor. Patience might have done it. Blinks forward to the disruptors too.
Really good control of this game coming out of Patience. The Stalkers are paying attention, so they blink at the last freaking second. Boy, this stuff is like butt-clenchingly stressful to watch. But Disruptors have been pretty much removed from the equation. When it comes down to it, the army supply from Patience is just better. He's even got an immortal on this. It's kind of doing nothing right now. Is it? Oh, well, Disruptor gets an okay hit. But they still, I think, just a little too much. Oh, he does catch the Stalkers and blink on cooldown, though.
Right? Like, damn. He was pretty close to holding it, but I think that's just a little bit too much. The Warp Prism is still reinforcing for Patience. This Warp Prism only doing mild amounts of damage. It looks like Hurricane went searching for the Warp Prism. Oh, nope. Just kidding. Those are probes. Never mind.
I think this is getting to be a little bit too much, though. Snipes off that last Disruptor hit. GG. Patience. We'll tie up the series 1-1. Also, is your camera still not working?
We have to recall if it wanted to work.
Let's give it a shot. I think we gotta wait a bit for Crank anyways. The computer probably restarting. If you guys missed, Olimoleague in chat was updating us. She knows his computer blue screened. So hopefully he'll be back here quick. Good to have you back, Stomach Grip. Hello. Are you wearing your cat lady shirt? I see the word kitten. Kit.
Yeah, of course. In my pajamas.
Kitten lady, excuse me, not cat lady.
Paulo, come here. Come here.
I'm not sure these are really my pajamas, but I've been wearing my Nate shirt a lot lately just because it's been like in a cycle of laundry, so like I'm always repping that Kappa Star League. Whoop whoop.
Come on. Apollo was trying to jump up during that engagement, during that game.
He's like,
and that's
Mom!
I'm the most paranoid about him hitting the pause button.
Well, luckily I don't think you had admin for that one, so you're all good.
That's a good point. Safety measures. Okay. Ugh. Don't just look at me. Don't just stare at me. He's getting a sister tomorrow. I'm so excited, man.
Nugget.
Yeah. So like, I guess I don't think it's gonna go. I don't think I have to leave early, but yeah, if the cask is like 6 hours, I might leave early.
Oh yeah, we're doing BTSL tomorrow. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
New time.
I'm so excited. So excited. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight, Rifkin.
I think that you need to definitely do like a nugget stream when you get back. Just
I'm taking a lot of pictures, man.
Actually, you have like you're in America. Use your whatever stream, IRL stream, get nugget.
My data with Ting, Rifkin.
You only pay for what you use.
Rifkin. Nah. Maybe.
I'd tune in for that. I'd like to see nugget.
Nugget. Yeah, and it's been like 2 weeks, so maybe like this place that we go to, guys, while we're waiting for the lobby to be set up. So my parents went there on like a whim, like a long time ago. Like, geez, how long ago? That's where they got Ziggy 3. Ziggy was like 13 when he died, and when they went there, it was like just like packed full of kittens. Right, this is West Virginia, so.
Because yeah, that's what a lot of us know West Virginia for.
It's just. Well, okay, so in my mind, I very obviously think of like poor like rural towns having very bad like cat populations, which I think is mostly true, right? So that's, and then West Virginia I think is well known to be, you know, not so good sometimes. Anyways, the point is, there's a lot of feral cats, so there's a lot of kittens, and this place is just like packed with kittens. That's why I always go back, but you have to go back during kitten season to actually like be that same type of 17 kittens lined up on a wall type thing. But when we got Apollo, we went during like June too, and he had like 6 brothers and sisters, and there was like 2 other little kitten packs. They're full, man, all the time.
Wait, am I in a game right now? Where did it go?
We've joined 2 lobbies that were both wrong so far.
You were kicked from the lobby. Okay.
It's supposed to be on Newkirk, but they keep making Cactus Valley.
Am I supposed to join Olimoleague, or who am I supposed to join?
I don't know.
No,
I think Olimoleague is holding the other one.
Okay, I'm gonna join Crank. Man, we should just run an ad break. This is something that's supposed to take 30 seconds to get in the lobby. It's taking us like 5 minutes. But okay, we're finally in Newkirk. Woo! Wookirk.
Nice.
He's getting a sister or a girlfriend. Dude, I don't think the little tiny baby cat is going to be having sexual relations with Apollo anytime soon.
No, it weirds me out that you said that, but it also just weirds me out in general.
Do you watch any of the not Marvel, the DC movies that come out, like the Justice League and stuff?
Nah.
I'm talking the animated ones, not the live action ones.
Yeah, I figured it. No, I don't like DC.
So they just had one come out. And I watched Teen Titans when I was younger, so I kind of vaguely know the story of like Terra and like some other stuff.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yo, no, not for the movie, man. They made Slade into like a straight up pedophile, and she's like this 15-year-old girl trying to wear makeup and like sleep with him, and it was really not what I maybe it was true to the comics or something, but it's not what I know from Teen Titans. And I was like, this is not the Teen Titans I wanted to see, man.
That makes me sad. That, like, it seems like DC has been very disappointing lately. This is an outsider's perspective, someone who doesn't like DC, so it could be entirely wrong. Because
the movies have been bad. Fear Dragon and I remember got super hyped to watch the last one together. We were both disappointed with like these Sailor Moon transformation scenes they were doing, and I was like,
yeah.
I just remember I was on call with Fear Dragon while we were watching this, and we were both like audibly cringing at how like, what the fuck?
That's too bad. And then I didn't hear good things about the Killing Joke.
Oh, that one was okay. But anyways, in the bottom right, we have the Red Protoss player. Things have been tied up 1-1, and it's game 3 for Hurricane.
Damn. In the bottom left, as the blue Protoss, he is patient.
Also, congratulations to Snipe Hunt slaying the previous bit boss, the Monteune, taking a swing at Snipe Hunt. I gotta get on it. You know, at this point, I think I'm just gonna commit to it. I gotta go find something to make a custom cheer emote thing. And I really want like the different various emotes to be like weapons and damage you're doing to like the bit boss.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's super cool.
Like in my mind, like the 1-bit cheer is like a little wooden club, right? The 100-bit cheer is like maybe a sword. I don't know what I want, because I'm like torn on this. I want to make like the 10,000-bit cheer like this holy fucking sword with like fire erupting behind it, kind of like the Kriegasm rainbows, but like fire of like justice.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I like Nate's new cheer mode.
Okay, I will admit, objectively, that's not a meme I should really be getting into. Like, I fully recognize that it's not like cool or whatever, but I love it. This is the best way to represent things, and then the Pepe with it makes it so good.
Can Papa Rifkin, the master of memes, tell me how it even came to be?
It's autistic screeching.
Oh, I feel bad about you now.
See, well, actually, so the funny thing is, that's what it became, right? And like, there's a stupid thing with the whole Pepe frog. The original like that I know of though is like this rage video of like this nerd playing Counter-Strike or something, and like it's a video from like 2009, so you guys can imagine how badly animated it is. But he's like, "You guys are fucking hackers!" Like he's just getting so mad. So that's where I know it from. But like the new age quote unquote is like the not cool one.
Ah, okay. I get it. Thank you for the history lesson. Because I always prefer to think of it. I know it's not what it is, but I always prefer to think of it as the Widowmine sound.
That's what and you get mad from the Widowmine hit. So like, yeah, like that's, for me, it goes right back to it. Anyways, more on the later. We got Adepts trying to get some kills on both sides. Looks like, unfortunately though, Hurricane's going to be the one to take the losses. Patience actually doesn't lose too much to this.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get cleaned up too.
That's too bad. They get a Bractimus for the 26-month resub, and Monteune took back the boss, right?
Yeah, he is the new bit boss, 600 health, standing strong.
Yeah. It's so weird too, like, we're so off topic, I know. But nothing much is happening anymore. Hurricane is down 5 probes, and that is pretty bad in the early game, but DC used to have, I think, the better animated series, animated movies. It just seems like lately I've been hearing more negativity.
Actually, the Suicide Squad one they put out, I thought was phenomenal. I liked it a lot. This was, of course, like a full year and a half or something before the movie was even talked about, but
everyone knows Batman the Animated Series was one of the is probably the best.
The bat, because it came out at the same time as the Superman one, right? Nobody remembers the Superman cartoon at all.
That was decent, wasn't it?
it was okay, right? It's like Hercules
yeah.
versus Xena. You're like, yeah, I know Hercules was a thing, but we all remember Xena, right? Like,
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that stuff is like taught in like I learned storyboarding through Batman animated series because it was just like it was super super good.
well, you know, for me, it was good, yes, but also Kevin Conroy and his voice just so good for Batman.
Yeah. I mean, like I feel like you think of Batman even with like how good the movies were, and they were good movies, right? Like you think of the animated series actually. Oh. Nerding out aside, I suppose. More depth damage being done here. Patience still with leads. Faster the robotics bay, although maybe Hurricane is not thinking about the robotics bay. Let's see.
Oh, Patience stopped micro too. You could have gotten another probe from that.
Yeah. So Hurricane goes for Twilight Council faster. Patience goes for robotics bay faster. This is actually a very, very fast robotics bay. You know, we're talking about, in this series, a lot about how there's a little more hesitance to even get to Disruptors in general. But to get to them, like, on 2 bases pretty quickly could be dangerous. But I think Patience figured he had a lead, and he was scouting, and nothing seemed to really be, like, imminent in killing him. So he's going to try and get to it, and he's going to do some drops with it.
Well, I actually really like Gravitic Drive for a lot of different reasons, but if you're a player who's really micro-heavy on that Warp Prism, the more you can maneuver it, the better. Of course, Hurricanes does get revealed. So Patience is going to dodge it out. That's so cool. Okay, so he's going to be able to defend. You know, overcharges, pylons are placed nicely. But the difference is Hurricane doesn't know about Patience's Warp Prism.
Well, this is going to be pretty interesting. You know, I was talking about Patience scouting, looking for something that would tell him that he's about to be attacked. And probes will go down, but will he scout all the other gateways? Hurricane just threw down a bunch. He has Resonating Glaives, cannot lose that Warp Prism, that's going to be part of his attack. But what is he going to do about Disruptors? I mean, he doesn't have Blink, so he can't take care of them when he is offensive, and he can't take care of them when they're attacking his mineral line defensively. So he's just going to lose economy while trying to all in here.
I mean, right from the get-go, you know, Patience with those early probe kills, I think that put him up like, what, 6 or 7 workers, right? So any sort of just like passive game would not have benefited Hurricane. I understand the idea to try to get aggressive, but I'm just worried that it's going to miss the mark. Cancels the Nexus, though. He's not going to waste time mucking around with it.
Muxing around.
I was trying to say messing around and mucking around together. It didn't work.
It's not a bad attack here from Hurricane, despite his early losses.
Ooh, Disruptor clears out the Adept, so that's really nice. Front lines, of course, don't have a lot defending, unfortunately, and Blink gets stalled out. That's unpowered. It feels bad, man. It feels Batman, the animated series. This is actually getting a lot out of hand for Patience, though. Because that Blink was stalled out, he's also losing out on production, and frankly, that supply block with the pylons going down is kind of devastating. As we can see, like, he's got money. Patience might lose this game with like 1,000 minerals in the bank.
Yeah, always feels bad when that happens. But it might
Force
just be the
field
case.
blocking out that Immortal. No shots fired till way too late. Now running away till probes get pulled into it, but the force field's blocking the probes out, so this is going so well for Hurricane. GG!
Wow, he does it. GG!
Wow.
Works.
Wow. Yeah, congratulations to Hurricane. This is, I think, a big win for him, too. He's going to be in the finals of this week's Olimoleague. Snipe Hunt, by the way, slaying the boss once again. 1,000 bits. Dude, thank you so much. Very appreciated. Very generous. Do we know? Impact did win over Penguin. Okay, so it was a 2-1. A surprisingly closer series than I guess we would have expected. But now it means Impact fights against Ryung in a best-of-3 for the other semifinals. And then, of course, once that's all said and done, we will have the grand finals. So sit tight, guys. We got 1 best-of-3, 1 best-of-5 still coming up. Protoss versus either Terran or Zerg. We're going to find out which in this next series.